Hello everyone and welcome back to this brand new video. So see, as promised, Chromium is back and Chromium is here to stay. So for today, as part of our daily upload, we're gonna be playing NeoStorm. And here, let's take a look together at NeoStorm. So why do I like this deck? Because it's a combo deck, and if you've known me or like personally, or if you've followed me for a while, you know that I love playing combo decks. I play Blue-Red Storm in Modern. I used to play a lot of combo decks in Standard when they were a thing. So of course I had to try out this NeoStorm deck, and I have to say that I love it. The main reason I love it is because they're using one of my favorite cards in Zendikar Rising, which is Valakut Awakening. I am in love with this card, and if you're watching a lot of Modern content, this card along with Lotus is doing so much work in the Lotus Blood Sun deck. So I encourage you to watch that deck. Aspiring, Spike and Harry MTG are playing this deck. It's quite spicy, it's quite nice, they're amazing content creators, so I highly recommend you check them out. So beyond Valakut Awakening, let's discuss what this deck is trying to do. So this deck aims to play Sea Gate Stormcaller. So Sea Gate Stormcaller says when you play it, the next 2 mana spell you cast is gonna get copied. Meaning if we play Neoform, sacrifice Sea Gate Stormcaller, we're gonna get another copy of Neoform on the stack. So I know it's a bit complicated, but I swear it's simple once you get to it. So with your Neoform copy on the stack, you activate the spell basically. You get to search for a Dualcaster Mage. So since you still have another copy of Neoform on the stack, this Dualcaster Mage is going to copy that spell. So again, you get to search for something for 3 mana. You also do the same thing, you get another Dualcaster Mage up until you get 4 Dualcaster Mages. And then you get 4 Glasspool Mimic that are going to enter as a copy of Dualcaster Mage, giving you 4 more copies of Neoform, and then with the final copy of Neoform, you get to search Tuktuk Rubblefort and Combat Celebrant, although you don't really need the Celebrant. So you get to search for the Rubblefort, which gives all of your creatures haste, and you get the Combat Celebrant, which gives you an additional combat step. So with that combination, you're gonna hopefully have lethal, and you're simply just going to win. Usually this deck wins on turn 4, so that's what we're trying to do. But if it doesn't win on turn 4, this deck is grindy enough to win on turn 5 or turn 6. I mean, you can one-shot your opponent easily. So in order to set up for the combo, we have our 4 opts. I'm going to show you like the cards you use to set up for the combo. So you have Opt, you have Deliberate, and then Wall of Blossom is a good way for you to stall. So here I'm going to put the cards that stall and that protect our combo. So Aether Gust is good because it gets to deal with a lot of maybe Nissa, these with Uro. Abrade is here because some control decks are playing Grafdigger's Cage in the main board, and you and I both know how annoying Grafdigger's Cage in the main is. So Abrade is a pretty good way to deal with that. Wall of Blossom just blocks aggro decks quite well, and my favorite card to set up for the combo is actually Valakut Awakening. Now why? Sometimes you draw 2 Tuktuk Rubblefort in your hand, and you have no way to like search for them because with Neoform because they're in your hand. So Valakut Awakening, the cool thing with it is that it helps you put back combo pieces to the bottom of your deck. And another cool thing about putting them at the bottom of your deck is that you're not going to draw them again because they're at the bottom of your deck. So you ensure that you're going to draw hopefully combo pieces and not the things that you want to tutor for with Neoform. Beyond that, we have Uro to grind, Brazen Borrower to kind of have another way to stall, and it's also a way for you to kind of pressure your opponent if your main plan doesn't work. Uro is just amazing. If you're semi-colors, you're probably going to play Uro. And for the mana base, it's quite simple. We have a Pathway, Steam Vents. We don't play a lot of Triomes because this is a turn 4 deck, so you're trying to win on turn 4. And that's pretty much it for the main board. For the sideboard, it depends really on the matchup. So against aggressive decks, you can have an Aether Gust. Against gridier decks, you have a Negate. Abrade once again to deal with annoying Grafdigger's Cage. Destiny Spinner is here because post-board they're gonna try to counter your spells, and with Destiny Spinner you stop them from countering them. Mystical Disputes against grinding control decks, where like you want to sneak out your combo and then you have 5 mana, so you get to sneak it out even with if they have interaction. Anger of the Gods is here against aggro decks. Nightpack Ambusher is a way for us to kind of transition into another plan. So this is what I like about sideboards. I like sideboards that help you transition into something. So now we're transitioning into a creature deck that has flash threats. So if we play Nightpack Ambusher, they tap out maybe for an Aether Gust to put it on top. We go to our turn and then we combo off. So that's the cool thing. It kind of pressures your opponent from a different perspective, and that's the best thing to do with the sideboard, to pressure your opponent from another standpoint. And then we have Shark Typhoon against control decks, so you get to keep up mana, you Shark Typhoon and step, you pressure them that way. Another way you can sideboard, which is sometimes what I do in my combo decks. So game 1 I would be playing combo. Game 2 I would switch to Planeswalker control. So maybe you could bring in 4 Chandras. Maybe you could bring in the Royal Scions. Let me show you the cards I have in mind. So you can bring in Chandra. Let me make sure that I'm only looking for Planeswalkers. So you could be bringing in Chandra Torture Defiance, one of my favorite cards. I really like this card, by the way. I think you're gonna figure that out in the next couple of days, but I really like Chandra. Another good card that you could bring in is the Royal Scions, because like they're just very good to grind out the game, to filter out and to loot through your deck. And Jace is also not a bad thing to bring in, but I don't like him that much in Historic because he's dead to eliminate. And Chandra Acolyte of Flame is actually not the worst thing to side in, because she lets you recast things from your graveyard, and most of your deck can be recast with her restriction of 3 mana. Actually, I think you can cast everything. And then her 0 ability gives you a way to pressure your opponent. So if you land a turn 3 Chandra, you keep on making 2/1/1 red elemental tokens, you keep attacking with them, you're gonna pretty much you're gonna pressure your opponent a lot. And then her 0 ability that puts counters doesn't really come up that much, unless you're like siding in Chandra and Chandra, so maybe this Chandra can help future Chandra ulti faster. Beyond that, I really like this sideboard. It's not my sideboard deck. I kind of looked up multiple guides, and I only added the more disputes. Usually some lists were playing they were playing more Abrades, and then they were playing less mystical disputes, but I'm not seeing that many Jund sacrifice decks for me to want more Abrades, so that's why I decided to cut on them and then to add 1 dispute. And some decks were playing Niv Mizzet, but I thought that Shark Typhoon is just better. It's because this deck takes a while to get to 6 mana, so going into Niv Mizzet isn't usually the best, so that's why I decided not to go with it. But that's gonna be pretty much it for the DeckTech. Before we get into our games, I would like to please remind you to like, comment, because the channel needs your support after such a hiatus, and subscribe because it's the main way where you can help the channel for free. If you want to help the channel beyond that, you can check out my Patreon link in the description down below. And with that, I'll see you in the games. Going into our first game of NeoStorm combo. Now, one thing I forgot to mention about Valakut Awakening is that you can actually play it as a land, so that's something that comes up very often. So we have double up, Sea Gate Stormcaller, Uro. I think that's definitely a keep. And I'm gonna lead off with Breeding Pool just so my opponent thinks that I'm playing maybe Sultai, so maybe they like maybe play differently. Alright, so I thought it's an aggro deck because of, usually the Dog Steves indicate aggro. I know that's a very weird way to think about things, but I've usually played against these decks. Alright, so we have the combat hand. Alright, yeah, so I was saying that usually when I play against someone with Dog Steve, they're playing like some kind of dog aggro deck. So we have the combo in hand, we have exactly 4 mana to do it. Now the only thing I would be worried about is interaction, so hopefully our opponent isn't playing something with Thoughtseize. Please don't search for a black source. No black source. No black source. Alright, yes, no black source. Oh, let's hope he's not Azorius. No, he's Azorius control. Alright, so we kind of have to be more patient with our combo now. Alright, another Uro isn't really what I'm looking for. Alright, Stomping Ground is a fine pickup from the top. Alright, we have a Valakut Awakening. So do I want to Valakut Awakening end step, force him to tap out, and then after he taps out I get to sneak in a combo? I think that's the plan. I think we're gonna try to do that. Just gonna pass the turn to our opponent. He cycled the Censor, obviously. See, yesterday I told you how much I love Censor, and like this guy's showing you why I love Censor. Alright, so he's banned. Let's see if Valakut Awakening can eat a Censor. And then we put back Uro and Stomping Ground. Alright, good game, opponent, good game. Magic is easy, guys, magic is easy. And now we're simply just going to Neoform, and he is dead on turn 4. See, whoever thought Historic isn't like Modern, well, Historic is a turn 4 format. Alright, so Dualcaster Mage. Alright, sorry for being evil, but I love this deck. So it seems the opponent's playing some kind of control decks. I don't think Wall of Blossom is that good. Nightpack Ambusher for sure, Destiny Spinner for sure. Shark Typhoon is coming in for sure, Disputes are as well, Negates are in. Now what do I want to bring out? I mean, Aether Gust is good, but I don't see it being that amazing. Because like, I'm assuming he only has Uro as a target. Beyond that, what do I want to side out against control decks? That's the thing. I'm keeping in Abrade because he's probably going to bring in Grafdigger's Cage. This is mostly a Grafdigger's Cage format right now. I think I can bring out Borrower. Actually, I'm going to keep in Borrower. Let's think about this clear. If he's bringing in Grafdigger's Cage, I don't want Uro. I don't want too many Uros because they're just going to hit on him. And then I think we can take out the Combat Celebrant because we're not going to be winning in one fell swoop, and I can take out 2 Aughts and then that should be it. I'm taking out Aughts because the game is going to get grindier. The game is going to like stall out, I'm going to have to wait out, he's going to have to wait out, so we can probably like grind it out to a degree where I can win that way. See, the fact that Valakut Awakening is also a land comes into relevance right now. Question is, do I want to keep this hand? So I can go turn 1 Mimic, turn 2 Pool. Actually, turn 1 Mimic, turn 2 Awakening, turn 3 Pool, flash in Borrower. I think I'm gonna keep this hand. I think I'm gonna keep it. Alright, so we have another Breeding Pool. I don't have to play Glasspool Mimic as a land anymore. So that's always relevant. So now actually I think I'm gonna play this Valakut Awakening, then play Breeding Pool next turn untapped, Valakut Awakening back my Glasspool Mimic and my Dualcaster Mage as a threat. Alright, that's fine with me. Grafdigger's Cage is kind of fine. We have ways to deal with it, so I'm not that worried. Now we're just gonna pass back to our opponent. And let's see what he has in mind. Authority of the Consuls is actually a very relevant card because now it gives him time to board wipe. So what happens is that he has an extra turn to find an answer. I don't think I want the Neoforms just because I'm gonna keep one, but I mean it's because like he has 2 ways to deal with the combo right now, so I wouldn't want to go for the combo just yet. We're gonna play an untapped land and we're simply just going to pass the turn. Growth Spiral is fine with me. Does he find the land? He does find the land. Pass back. Alright, is this the fairy time? Yeah, I mean I can't do anything about it. We're gonna flash a Nightpack Ambusher before he draws a card.
Keep up the pace.
Keep up the pace indeed, Teferi. Keep up the pace. Alright, so we're gonna shock this land in, and we're gonna attack this beautiful Teferi. Attack Teferi. Alright, and now we can simply pass the turn. Now we get a 3-3. See, this is what I meant by pressuring your opponent with a Nightpack Ambusher. Now he has to deal with an Ambusher. I mean, sure, he's gaining some life, but who cares about gaining life? Alright, so now he is going to activate his Teferi. Hopefully he doesn't have a Wrath. If he has a Wrath, we flash in. That's still fine. See, as long as I get to deal with Teferi, I'm kind of fine, really. Alright, so what would be scary if he finds a land, and then after the land he gets to play Shark Typhoon? Alright, he does shock it in. So maybe he can activate Castle. Alright, double Uro is okay with me. See, the weird thing is that he has Uro, although he has Grafdigger's Cage, so I'm quite curious about this mix of cards. I think I'm gonna deliberate. And then if I find an Abrade, we're gonna Abrade this Grafdigger's Cage. Abrade Dispute is wonderful, actually. Abrade Dispute is wonderful. I'm gonna draw the Abrade first. So I get to Abrade this. No damage to creatures. We're gonna destroy this target artifact. See, the reason I'm doing it now is I want to incentivize him to escape Uro next turn, so then I can Brazen Borrower Authority of the Consuls. Alright, so we're gonna simply attack the fairy, ensure that it dies. Alright, great, the fairy is dead. We're gonna play Glasspool Mimic as a land in case we do need to resort to that. We're gonna keep getting some pressure on the board and we're gonna be fine. So now he has enough to escape Uro, but he can't pay for Dispute. So if I Dispute Uro... Alright, so he did have enough for Dispute now. Do I even care about Narset? Don't think so. If he goes for Wrath, we bounce Authority and then we combo off on our turn. Yeah, I think I'm fine with it. Alright. Alright, he doesn't even like get anything with an Narset. Alright. Uro is gonna meet my friend Mystical Dispute. Alright, and now they're gonna meet my friend Brazen Borrower. Let's see. Is it the win next turn? Pact of Negation. Opponent is not playing around. See, we can always Sea Gate Stormcaller. But then, like, what are we searching for 3 mana? Can Sea Gate Stormcaller, copy it, get a copy of Nightpack Ambusher. But then we're dead. Because, like... How are we dead? The thing is, if I go for that, if I go for the combo, then I Neoform. Can go for Combat Celebrant, get the win next turn, I guess. Guess we're not gonna play anything. We're just gonna keep on going that way. If the deck played any 1-drop, what I could have done is Neoform one of these tokens and then go for that, but we sadly do not. Alright, he had to pay for Pact of Negation. See, Ambusher on his own is like a lot of pressure, so I'm not that worried, honestly. I mean, like, just look at this board. Look at this board. I have 13 points of damage, just with a Nightpack Ambusher. Alright, maybe he has a bounce spell? Is it a bounce spell? I mean, that's the only thing I can imagine him having for 2 mana. Is it like Blink of an Eye, Into the Royal? Is it Brazen Borrower? That's the only thing I can realistically see him having in his hand. Alright, the opponent's thinking. I don't like it when my opponent thinks that much. Alright, he keeps on thinking, he decides that he's not gonna do it. I wonder what my opponent has on hand, honestly. Alright, opponent. Alright, opponent. I mean, alright. Alright, opponent's down to 6. I mean, this is a very good spot for us. I mean, Authority of the Consuls does prevent us from winning at like directly in 1 turn, but I can always go for like half of the combo since I have Sea Gate Stormcaller Neoform, so I can go for like half of the combo. Alright, let's try to go for half of the combo. Sea Gate Stormcaller resolves. Alright, this really tells me that opponent doesn't have a way to deal with this combo, so I'm gonna go for it again. Alright, if this was a bluff, it was a very good one. If it wasn't, I think we win the game. But although he has to pay 5 mana, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, he doesn't have enough for interaction next turn. So I think we go for all of the combo because he simply doesn't have enough to stop it. I mean, I could be dead wrong and we could be dead, but I'm just gonna go for it. And then we have an Uro as like kind of a consolation prize. So if he does end up doing anything to our board, we have Uro to win next turn. I actually don't win with Uro, but I mean, we're in a good spot because of Uro. So he cycles his Censor. We're gonna keep on going. Dualcaster Mage. Dualcaster Mage. And Glasspool Mimic. We're gonna copy the Dualcaster Mage. Another Glasspool Mimic that is going to copy the Dualcaster Mage. See, if he does have something to interact with, we're like screwed, but I don't think he does. I don't think he does. And then I think we can go for one more Glasspool Mimic. And then we can go for, I guess, Brazen Uro. And then we're gonna go for Brazen Borrower. Yeah, actually I'll decline. Maybe we can put it back with Valakut Awakening. And then we are going to play Brazen Borrower. I mean, yeah, it is like kind of an all or nothing kind of situation, but remember he has to pay for Pact of Negation. Sure. He has to pay for Pact of Negation. I don't think there's a board wipe for 2 mana. At least, if there was a board wipe for 2 mana, I'd be playing it, I promise. So this should be lethal. Unless like I'm missing something, but this should be lethal. So it's 9, 18. This should be enough. So 10, 13, 16, 19, 22. Alright, opponent, what's the plan? Is it time for roping? I think we played this game pretty well. I'm really proud of this game. So he could go land Gideon, but then if he goes land Gideon, he stops our borrower from dealing damage. We still have 4 Combat Celebrants, Dualcaster Mage, I mean. That's 12 damage, 15 damage. I don't think he can get out of this, guys. I really think that we got him. Unless he has Root Snare. Alright, so Root Snare is a 2 mana card that says prevent all combat damage that will be dealt this turn. So there's only Root Snare that can stop us. But seeing how my opponent is roping me, I mean, we're gonna continue talking. Alright, so let me update you a bit with my life. So there's a Baffling End. He takes care of Brazen Borrower. I'll update you on my life during our attack step. So I'm not gonna take too long. We're just gonna attack with everything. And that should be enough to win the game. The classic combo versus control games. So that's gonna be pretty much it for this video, guys. Sorry I didn't update you with my life, but you can feel free to talk to me on Discord and I'll tell you everything that's going on. So I wanted to first thank you so much for watching, because you're the ones keeping my channel alive, and I do need the support currently in this time. I'm really grateful for every single one of you that I met through my experience in YouTube, and I'm hopefully trying to make our family grow even more. I wanted to once again thank you so much for watching. If you want to help the channel, please like, comment and subscribe. Make sure to check out my Patreon link in the description down below. And with that, I'll see you guys next time.